Well, good evening, everybody. This is Keith with Positively Osceola, another one of our coffee club evenings. Look at that logo. It happens to be a district deal. You know, sometimes the universe just lines up right.
There you go.
But not just another night, not just another cup of coffee. I've got two of the most amazing sports guys in the county. Right with me, right to my left. I think I point the right way. It's all backwards. Yep. That's Cole Harvey with Positively Osceola, and of course the one and only Ryan Adams, the athletic director with the school district of Osceola County. How you guys doing?
Good, brother.
Doing very well. Thanks for having us.
Ryan, thanks for being here. I know we threw this at you, and you get the Busy Man of the Year award. So we're glad we could steer you into this hangout with us tonight. Like we said, no real huge agenda. And as I said earlier, the big motivator from the night was somehow I could tell that we were destined to be here as The Longest Yard got played on Netflix. I don't know how that happened. Won't go into any details. Anyway, so kind of a different kind of year. It almost goes without saying, but I find we say it. So get a few people popping on real quick. We'll wait a couple seconds more. So how was your day, Ryan?
That was a great day. Another day working with the schools, working with the athletes and the athletic directors. You know, we've a lot going on with our playoffs here for the first time with the new playoff system with the FHSA.
Right.
More importantly, you know, we're starting to look at winter and seeing what that's going to look like for our athletes.
Cool. Yeah, plenty of change this year. So let's go ahead and make it official, and we'll be right at it in a second. So I'm going to try to speak less than you two guys, if that's possible tonight. But maybe I'll run through real quick, and then we can go the rest of the way on everything else. But why don't I go right through? I'll read through this past Friday's varsity football scores, and we'll just zing through that real quick, and then at the end we'll talk about the games coming up a little bit. But I'm going to zing through these real quick. Maybe we should talk about. We can also talk. I was at St. Cloud Gateway, and I know Cole, you were at Osceola, right, Cypress Creek. So we'll through real quick through these. St. Cloud handled Gateway quite easily, 43-0. Osceola, I think it's the second game in a row they scored 56-0. I think they beat Liberty the first week, same exact score.
Their offenses work, their defenses too. Everything's working for Osceola.
And then Bishop Moore took out 35-14. Lake Wales over Harmony. Don Simon's guys still looking to get a W maybe this week. Liberty 16 traveled out to Lakeland, took on George Jenkins, beat them 16-12. Winter Haven handled easily Point St. Eagles 49-3, and Celebration almost took out Freedom, but Freedom walked away with a W 41-34. You know what? Why don't I know, Ryan, I'm gonna have to really be quiet after this, but let me chat a little real quick on the St. Cloud Gateway game. It started all St. Cloud and it ended all St. Cloud pretty much. And Marlon Roberts was not in the best of moods, but you got a young team who's trying to make it work out there for sure. And so he was working from the kickoff to the end of the game, but it was all St. Cloud. So it was the Bulldogs 466 total yards. Gateway had 107. 240 yards in the air for St. Cloud and 226 on the ground, 14 first downs, 5 or 7 third down conversions. We actually did, and we mentioned this earlier, we had Coach Smart and 3 of his guys on one of these shows the week prior, and all 3 of these guys were the ones that excelled again, which was number 32, Jack Rillings, 82 yards. He was, and that's the young man from Wisconsin that moved down here because they weren't going to play. Actually, I know, Ryan, you know. Number 15, Pat Forsyth, 19 runs for 184 yards, and Garrett King was 12 for 15, 2 TDs, 240 yards. So a big game for the Bulldogs for sure. And I'll turn it over to you, Cole, and then we'll just chat with Mr. Adams.
Sure. I mean, Osceola, obviously, they just did some terrible things to Cypress Creek. It wasn't a game. I mean, they had 2 special team scores as well that helped them out. A couple blocked punts. The Cypress Creek guy was lining up way too close. I talked to Coach Nichols after the game, and he said they saw that on film, that how close Cypress Creek. He was probably about 10 yards at the most behind the center. So it was real easy for Osceola to get through. I mean, they have a couple guys on that D line that are absolutely just enormous, especially a couple of the ends. I mean, the pressure that they got all night was insane from the D line, and then hey, on offense, we know it's Osceola, but their special teams is working too. So look at that; it's all literally offense, defense, special teams. Everything's working for Osceola so far through the whole thing, and they shut them out too. So really good. And then we know this week we got one of the biggest games in the district, probably every single year, is going to be St. Cloud hosting Osceola. The Cowboys, man. That I've got the privilege of playing in that game. Chances are, if you're watching this, or you know somebody, or you've played in a game, whether it was football or anything else, if you've been around Osceola County long enough, you know that game kind of runs deep here, and it just feels a little bit different, doesn't it, Ryan?
It definitely does. I mean, at the end of the day, there's such tradition with this game. I mean, we're talking. Are we close to 100 yet?
Yeah, I think it's over 100. Over 100.
Are we over 100 now? The coaches talk about it. The players know about it. There's people in the community. They know exactly this is a even year. So the games at St. Cloud, odd years are at Osceola. They know where this is, and they're looking forward to it. It's one of those everyone circles. They haven't been quite as competitive over the last few years, but at the end of the day,
the last time they won on the field, it was this guy here with my 2012 class of 2012. Maybe it came over there. It was like 35 to I don't know. We only beat them by like a score in overtime or something like that. But just had
I was there at that game. I was there. It was very exciting, and we still have some coaches in the county who played in that game way back in 1996. You know, those players now are coaches in the county, teachers working for the school district. So you hear the stories. It's exciting. It's fun to talk to the coaches. There's just such a tradition. You can't beat that. You can't put a price tag on something like that.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Smart actually real quick, Keith. He was telling me about how he's watching film on Osceola, and this year that team look as good, if not better, than they have in a long time. So, yeah, he knows that if they got their work cut out for them there. They have that transfer quarterback from IMG Academy. I wish I need to get him on here because this guy, he looks really good. Their whole squad looks great, and Coach Smart knows, and they're out there preparing hard, man. Their practice looked really good. St. Cloud's did. They had everything going. Everybody looked focused and locked in. The coaches were being loud and coaching up, so it seems like they're up to the task this week.
Yeah, and I would remind anyone who wants to go to the game, we have limited seating available. So right now, we are just about 750 tickets in. There's only a couple hundred tickets left. So we encourage you to get on our website on Hometown Ticketing from St. Cloud's athletic site and get your tickets now, so you can be guaranteed entrance into the game. We'd hate to turn away people if they're thinking they can just show up like in the past and just show up at the gate.
It's got to be happening. It's got to be happening. People are busy; they don't catch everything. But I am going to save one seat in that game because I will be at Toho with Liberty.
There you go.
Save the seat for the fans, man.
Chad Mascow II. That's the quarterback for Osceola, that guy right there. And Blake Birchler played a little bit too, but Chad Mascow, he came over from IMG. He looks great, man. Just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, he's a 4-star quarterback, so he definitely has some talent. And Blake Birchler, man, he's fantastic himself. So Osceola's sitting very well over there with 2 quality quarterbacks.
Right. So, well, let's use that as a segue. So talking about ticketing being different, attending games are different. Both games. Yeah, I found it interesting. I've talked to a few people, and they're like, it's just, I don't know. It's just the COVID thing. It's changed the dynamic. I don't know. Maybe it has, but I mean, I think after by the middle of the second quarter in the first week, I was past all that. Those are, we're just doing what we have to do to keep people safe and do what we're told to do by the district and the coaches and the principals. And we're just enjoying football. I mean, it just kind of is what it is now. finish the game, grab a Kona ice on the way home, and you're good to go. You know. So why don't you give us? So you know the whole perspective. So why don't you tell us what's going on as far as how? I know that everybody's working hard. So give us your whole view on the whole thing. Athletics this year, amid a pandemic.
Sure. Well, the most important thing to remember is when you are coming to these games, we welcome you. We want you to be there. It feels great to have football back. It feels great to have fall athletics back, not just football. We've been to volleyball matches, golf, swimming, cross country. These are great events, bowling for our kids. But at the end of the day, we are asking you to take the precautions that are necessary. We need you to make sure that you are wearing your mask when you come to the event. Purchase your ticket ahead of time so you are guaranteed your seat for entrance into the game. And please make sure you are social distancing if you are not with immediate family members. That's very important to remember when you're coming to our games. Backpacks, the same thing. You can't have a bag that's larger than 12 by 12 by 12. We still need to make sure our facilities are safe and we are protecting our kids at the end of the day. While they're there and while you're there enjoying the atmosphere and the contests that are taking place.
So right now, aside from football, you've got a lot going on. It's not just football, even though that's what we kind of talked about at the start of this. So why don't you share some what else is going on in the district?
Well, absolutely. This is championship week right now for the conference. Our Orange Belt Conference is taking place, and we just completed on Monday our girls golf championships. St. Cloud did take that championship again. Morgan Bollier set the county record for an 18-hole tournament. She was 3 under. First time in Osceola County, one of our teams has shot sub 70. So that was exciting. A week before, Poinciana, Lola Johansson, she comes in and shoots a 6 under 30 for a 9-hole tournament, and she sets the county record. Very exciting golf taking place right now. Boys championship was yesterday. St. Cloud took that as well. Eric Hernandez, he's a junior. He shoots a 1 over 73. His brother was the OBC champion in 2019. So both brothers can share that title moving forward. Now they go into next week and they'll have their district championships. Our OBC diving championships are taking place right now at Bob Makinson Pool. Then, of course, tomorrow we have our swimming finals also at Bob Makinson starting at 10. There are some challenges with that. Parents are not allowed on the pool deck due to the modifications. It'll just be the athletes and the people working the event. So obviously those are some changes. Bowling's here. Cross-country OBC championships are in a couple weeks. We're certainly looking forward to St. Cloud hosting those. Our kids are ready. They've been wanting this. They're back and they are competing. And it's exciting to see. And then, of course, the FSA playoffs are also beginning for our schools. Volleyball starts next week. Our teams are getting ready with the new system they have in place. They were blind draws. So our teams are all over the place where they're seating and where they're going to be competing. And then, of course, football, those brackets came out today as well. We have 3 of our teams that will be moving on to the FSA state tournament. Osceola, they received a bye, so they will not play until November 20th. Same with St. Cloud. And then Tohoba-Caliga, they drew the first week, so they'll be playing on the 13th at Winter Springs.
Busy time for sure. Cole, you were out yesterday at the board golf at OBC. Why don't you share a little bit about that?
I was going to say, yeah, you said Eric Hernandez. You mentioned that he came out on top, and early on, his brother actually came into the clubhouse with one of the better scores. Celebrations, Ethan Badillo came out with the second spot. I think he shot an 84. So, but really, just how mind blown I was. And I haven't been to as many of the golf tournaments, but man, I was there, and to be around the structure of that thing and how well St. Cloud, the golf course there, managed that. St. Cloud Royal Links. They did a really, really good job. But early on, there was two scores in the 70s, and one of them being Chad Nolinger. I think he shot a 78, and I was surprised by that. And then the next guy come in here a little bit later. Literally the next group after him was Eric Hernandez with that 73. All of St. Cloud's golfers in the 80s or lower for that. And that was one of the first times I think that Doug had mentioned the course pro at St. Cloud that all that all the golfers, all the players from one school ended up getting the top 7, getting a ribbon. So that's not a common thing. So shout out to the St. Cloud's golf program, because they're doing some crazy stuff. And look at Eric Hernandez after he bested that 78 from Chad Nollinger, which was an incredible score. He told me afterwards, look, I still know some things that I can work on. He says him and the coach are working on his arms, is what he was telling me. And that was the first thing he was thinking about coming off. So just incredible to see that kind of talent right there. And being a junior, I'm excited to watch him next week in the district tournament, and then hopefully on regionals, see if we can get the same kind of play. If St. Cloud can come with that same play, they're going to be in contention for sure. So they looked really good. But congratulations to St. Cloud Golf, because they really owned that tournament out there, man. They did a great job.
Yeah, both of those programs did fantastic. And what's really exciting is all those top finishers are all coming back. Malachi, the junior from Poinciana, he shot a 78. He and Eric were battling it, and Eric happened to take a couple stroke lead on the last couple holes. I mean, that's how close it was until the very end. Great golf going on in Osceola County. It's very exciting to see these kids competing at a high level. And, of course, they move on to districts next week, and we'll see how they do.
Yeah, good luck to them, all the schools.
So, I always say I'm probably like most people. I really love the summer. I love summer break. You try to more time for family and all the different things we all do. Certainly a different summer, but, I think I'm by July, late July, early August, I'm in some sort of mourning where the summer has come to an end, and then the first time we get on a football field, I forget all about that. And, it's a new day and a new season, a new start for so many different people. So it's been different this year for sure. Waited a month. I think a lot of us are out on the field kind of chuckling that it's a little bit cooler since we waited a month to get started. But the one thing I see, no matter what school we're at, we're working hard trying to get at the schools as much as we can to everyone. And it really are. And Cole's been doing a great job getting around the district. But one thing I see, and you can comment on this, I'm seeing, no matter the sport, no matter the coach, no matter the player, almost always we hear a very similar thing, which is we're just glad to be out here playing. We're just glad to be. I talked to Doug Nichols, and he said, "Hey, man, isn't it great just to be doing something good on a Friday night?" You must be seeing that. You must be seeing that in the district, right?
Oh, it's across the board. I mean, at the end of the day, we're excited to have the kids back in school. I mean, we are educators. This is what we do. And to not have them in school from March on, that was tough. And to see these kids back in, it's exciting. It's great to have them there. Athletics, to have these kids competing, all the hard work in the off season. This is where it comes into play. And the summer is the majority of that off season. And it was a little different. They couldn't get back on our campuses to compete, but they were doing a lot of individual stuff. You see it all over the place, these kids out there working and preparing. And that's the commitment that these kids put in. And that's why you see it on Friday night and during the week and all these other athletic events that take place, not just the football field, which is exciting. You go to the swimming pool tomorrow at 10 o'clock, you're going to see some fantastic athletes competing, going to set personal records, county records. And, it's good stuff.
It is. It's part of that journey through your school years, and so it's good to see the kids. I mean, and I think sometimes the parents are in more of a concern mode on this because they know what this is. They know how that's going to spell out as the kids grow older, past their high school years. You look back and you say, "Wow, I did that during school. That was something I'll never forget." And so it's good to see the kids out there. So why don't you, if you mind, you mentioned winter. So what do you see after the fall sports season? How are things looking ahead a little bit?
Well, yeah, right now the FHSA and their advisory committee has not made any adjustments at this point in time. We are starting on time with our winter seasons. We're having our conversations to finalize what that's going to look like. How are we going to be, what modifications are we putting in place for our winter athletes? From wrestling, soccer, basketball, all of our sports, weightlifting. It's going to look a little different, but at the end of the day, our kids are going to be competing. We're working with the officials associations to make sure that we have that plan in place. So when they come to our facilities, they know what to expect and have a better understanding of what we've done to protect not only the players, but the officials and the fans that are going to be attending. But right now, the FSA has not made major modifications or delayed anything like they did with the fall. So we are anticipating starting on time, and we will be ready to go.
Yeah, that's a big deal right there, huh?
It is. Some of our simple modifications are going to be travel restrictions. We're not going to be leaving very far out of Central Florida. There may be a couple scenarios where they might do that, but they'll have to talk to us, and we'll make sure that it's still safe for everyone to travel. But overnight travel and all those types of things are not taking place right now. We're going to keep everyone going to the event and coming right back home.
Cool. Anything you need to say?
Man, I just got to give you guys a round of applause, Mr. Ryan Adams and everybody over there at the school district, just because we talk about being so grateful that we can get out there, but there's also a little bit of sense of relief, I think, for the students to know that they are going to be able to go out there because of the work that you guys are putting in to make sure that they're safe and make sure it's done the right way. And even the parents, the families, the friends, all that, to get to come still do it safely. You get to go see their students compete and doing what they love, and ultimately maybe getting them to college, because that's going to be the difference. If they're not on that field, some of those kids, they're not going to be going to school and playing. And so it's going to change their whole life, the fact that you guys have been able to put this together and have been able to do it safely. So just thank you guys to the school district and Ryan Adams, man. You guys have been crushing it.
Yep.
Well, it's our leadership team. I mean, make no mistake about it. Our leadership under Dr. Pace and her team, there's a lot of conversations that take place on the back end to ensure that we have thought of everything we can possibly think of, working with our other counties you're sharing ideas to make sure that everyone's thought about everything that we can possibly think about to ensure that safety. But the NCAA has put some modifications in place as well to help these students. So we're there. I mean, at the end of the day, these kids will have these foundations that'll last them for a very long time.
Yeah, that's awesome work.
Well done. Well done. Hey, why don't we take a few seconds and then we can we'll sunset this evening of sports. Why don't I run through this Friday's games real super quick? So Celebration is home against Ocoee. Gateway is at Boone High School. Harmony will be at Bishop Moore. Tohopa-Caliga will be hosting Liberty. Osceola, as we said, will be at St. Cloud. And Point Siena will be home against Lake Region. So a lot of sports going on there, sir.
There's a lot, and it's exciting. Again, our communities are supportive. We have people at these games, and I know our kids appreciate it at the end of the day because they're there supporting them.
Hey, let's remind everybody one more time. I'll ask you to, if you don't mind, the ticketing scenario, so people don't lose track of this. It's very important because they will be not getting in if they don't do what they're needing to do this year.
Yeah, if you click on EAT, you can go from the county district website under athletics. You'll see hometown ticketing right there on the main page. And you can go to each individual school's athletic website, and right under the main top menu of athletics, there's a drop-down menu. You'll see hometown ticketing. And you click on that, it'll bring up every game that's being held at that school, and it will let you know. You're not going to know how many tickets are remaining.
Right.
You're see if you have the ability to purchase one, you're there. Otherwise, it will tell you it is sold out.
Gotcha.
Your tickets now, so you can make sure that you can attend.
Yeah, big time. And that is osceolaschools.net, or as you said, any one of those athletic sites. Cool. Very good. All right, I guess we'll call it an evening. Like Cole said, we super appreciate you and the leadership team. That you've worked hard. And I don't mind saying this. Often the public, of which we're part of, will get cranky waiting for the answers that we want so bad. It's understandable because it's all about the kids. But we can get a little cranky while you guys are working so hard, making it in a very fluid situation. I mean, I don't know how you pulled it off at some point, because even when you sent me the schedule, you said, this is very fluid. So
be ready for changes.
We got some weeks ahead of us. We'll hope for the best, right?
Absolutely.
Very good. All right. Well, I guess I'll close it, Cole, unless you got something you want to say.
Oh, nothing. Great job, guys. That was awesome.
All right, there you go. Well, again, this is Keith with Positively Osceola, along with Cole Harvey from Positively Osceola, and our extremely special guest, Ryan Adams, the School District of Osceola County Athletic Director, knocking it out, crushing it for the county. Thanks for coming, you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, together we're making a positive difference in and around Osceola County. Have a good night.